Hi, my name is George Alberto Gonzalez Jr., and this is my presentation on my analytical paper. This is for Professor Julio Kidder's class and for West Coast. We're currently at West Coast University. And this is for my English communication class, 240. And the reason I'm making this presentation is because we had to choose between three speeches. First one was on gun control, written by Emma Gonzalez. There's another person that had written it, but Emma Gonzalez was the actual person that had presented the speech, or the actor. And the other speech that I read from the options was the Democratic Acceptance Speech, President Barack Obama, and the third speech was President Donald Trump's speech. Now, the way I'm going to present do the speech presentation is by first taking an excerpt from the actual speech and then giving my analysis of it. And the reason why I actually had chosen President Barack Obama's speech was because it was, for me, the easiest one to follow from the speeches and easiest to reference as well. Also, I empathize very much with my ways of thinking align very much with President Obama's as well. So, not to say that I have a preference for any real political party or anything. I just like to listen to what either side has to say, and I choose the best option for me in my way of thinking, I guess. But yeah, that was my reasoning for chosen President Barack Obama's speech. It's easier for me to follow, and also because I empathize very much with a lot of his ways of thinking. And okay, tonight I say to the American people, to Democrats and Republicans and Independents across the great land, enough. This election is our chance to keep, in the 21st century, the American promise alive. It says 2020 there because it was when I had actually read the presentation, but this was when President Obama had given his acceptance speech at the Mile High Stadium, Colorado, I think it was. So this is just the date that I read it. That's a reference. It's not the actual date that President Obama said this. Our government should work for us, not against us. It should help us, not hurt us. It should ensure opportunity, not just for those with most money and influence, but for every American who is willing to work. This was very important. This was, for me, was right on. And the reason that was because I feel that as coming from parents that worked really hard to get where they're at, they're monetarily very well off and all, but not a lot of my friends or people that I know are. And it's been interesting for me to see what it is that a lot of people live, because I have tried to put myself, sometimes not willingly, it just kind of happens, I kind of let it happen, but it's been really cool to see, it's been really, it's been teaching me a lot to put myself into other people's shoes and live their experiences, how they live it in their environments, and seeing how I can possibly help these people sometimes, and sometimes helping myself as well, because I've learned things about myself, and I learned how to communicate a little bit better with different types of people from all types of ways of life. And um, this this quote right there really kind of hit home base for me, because I am currently on the loan to be able to pay off to go through my education. And luckily for me, I do have people. I have, like I had mentioned earlier, my family is well off, and as well as my wife's family is well off, so their credits and stuff are in order. I'm working to hope to be able to get to that. That's why I'm getting my education as well, and that's why I'm not afraid to go in to a loan program to be able to pay my schooling and stuff as well, because with help, outside help, I guess, is because I know I'll be able to pay off what needs to be paid off and do what needs to be done, because I have the security of not only the support from my friends, from my family, but my nearest friends or anything. As I can say, my best friend is my wife, and I really appreciate everything that the school and they have been doing. But not everybody feels how I feel as well. Not everybody has that backup and support. And sometimes people go to churches for that type of support, and so especially people who don't have anybody in this country to have as support for themselves. So when I read something like this, and I read something of a leader that's remembering that not everybody has the backup, economical backup, or collateral, I guess they call it, to be able to pursue their dreams and all. So this really motivates me to be that American that works hard, to be able to chase my dreams. And if I was somebody that had that support, but since I like to put myself in those shoes all the time and everything, that's how I feel, and that's how I think others, and that's why others empathize with President Barack Obama's ways of thinking and speaking. Now, there's also this quote: ownership society, but what it really means is you're on your own. Out of work, tough luck. No health care, the market will fix it. Born in poverty, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, even if you don't have boots. You're on your own. This quote really reminded me a lot of a movie that was I was told to watch this movie by a friend of mine. I consider him my friend because he shared some good wisdom through this movie and all to me. It was They Live. My buddy's name's Jesse. He in the movie, this guy that's down on his luck and everything is separated from his wife, is trying to make a living traveling from city to city with the construction company and sending the money back to his family. So he says, while they're talking about how they're trying to make things better for themselves, he says, better be better than the best, or else you're sunk. And don't expect honest help, because everybody is really just out for themselves. And that kind of reminded me of this quote that President Barack Obama had said. Because they go kind of hand in hand, how they say that, well, work hard and do your best, and the other guy in that movie, that's what he said. He's like, I'm an American that believes that if I pay my taxes and if I work hard and continue with the system, I'll eventually be shown some sort of like gratification of some sort of, or like pat on the back or some sort of, you got this. I share that idea with the other guy. um, Basically, you know, it's hard. Yeah, but if you work hard, I believe you were able to do it. You know? And that's what I think President Barack Obama was trying to say. He was just trying to arouse emotions in the reader, or in his case, the audience, his direct audience, when he was giving the speech. And that to me was, it did arouse emotion to me. Like, obviously it made me remember a movie. And you know, the movie was directed by John Carpenter. And America, now is not the time for small plans. And that takes me to part of my essay that I had written. I wanted to just read it as I have it, because I get nervous a lot, I guess, when I'm doing stuff like this, and I stutter and I do all these weird things. So I figured that if I just read it straight of how it is, it'd be easier for me to just get through this in a more communicated in a better way. So current health issues concerning miniature invaders are the current problem and main issue uniting not only Americans but the world as a whole. By this I mean our current viral pandemic known as COVID-19, coronavirus disease COVID-19. I believe our character and persona is at test right now, because what we choose to do or not to do can truly impact another's human being's life mortally. As a fellow U.S. citizen and as a person who continues to strive for a better tomorrow, it feels comforting to know that people like stellar citizen and exemplary role model Barack Obama exist in the world and are genuinely interested in helping for the sake of helping, because that person knows that these small acts of hope and kindness truly are contagious, and this contagion is a good one. So that's what I had written, and there's a little bit more and stuff that of my feelings towards why I had chosen this over the other essays, but I think this was what I wanted to say. And I'm directed in this project for our school to be able to, this essay, to give some sort of something to do after. And in most videos that I have seen, especially since I have been doing all this political stuff for this class, research and reading it, most of them always say, you know, if you really care about all this stuff, and if you really are moved by what you feel is right, then you should get out there and not vote or nothing, but run, you know, for the person run and represent people that you think like you and all. And I don't know if this whole political stuff is really just a show or anything like that, you know, played by political actors to arouse emotions and for us to show our true colors and everything. But even if it is, or even if it's not, my mom always told me that it's better to prevent than to lament, and to treat our even treat people that treat us bad, basically, you know. Try to be nice to them, even though that. But my dad also taught me that, you know, we have to be strong with what we feel and what we say, and sometimes even if it may come out to seem like stubbornness or not, it's how you feel, and it's how you know, it's how you feel. So shouldn't feel bad to express ourselves. And so I'm trying to find that balance, I guess, too. So I don't know. So as the actual, I guess as the actual activity that we were supposed to do and all, I think I would, if suggest that like too. Yeah, get out there and explain and say what you feel and like and respect others. You know, as long as you respect others, especially right now since all these people are doing all this vandalizing and burning and stuff of stuff and everything, then you know, I guess it doesn't hurt to just say what you feel and act, and as long as you're doing it respectfully and not damaging properties and stuff like that, then I think, you know, express yourself and say what you have to say, because right now I guess people are really listening. They have no choice, right? The hammer comes down on them. So, yeah, I guess that's what I have to say. I don't know. Thank you for listening and have a good night.